The High Republic Phase 3 is kicking off to a fantastic start, and with so much on the way, I have 3 things that we as an audience need to look out for now that we are vastly approaching the end game to this incredible storytelling initiative. The big selling point of this time period is that the Republic and the Jedi are in complete harmony. The Republic is dutifully serving the will of the people. We've seen incredible leaders such as Chancellors Mallow and Greylark in the early era of the High Republic, and most notably Chancellor Lina So, all of them heralding an era of joint prosperity amongst its people. Outer Rim systems are buying into this philosophy as well, and with a mantra like "We are all the Republic," how could they not? At the very zenith of Republic prosperity stood Starlight Beacon, meant to be a condensed version of the Republic brought straight to the Outer Rim. But there's a problem. There are some who reject the Republic's presence. The vicious pirate group known as the Nihil have resisted the Republic's colonization to an unformidable degree, from causing the Great Hyperspace Disaster to nearly destroying the Hetzel system and Ariadu, to attacking innocents at the Republic Fair on Valo, to even bringing down Starlight Beacon and finally using a system of gravity well generators to set up an occlusion zone in the Outer Rim. They sectioned off their own chunk of space that no one can enter via hyperspace. They've kind of created their own Mordor, if you will. With the Nihil proving to the galaxy that the Republic can be humiliatingly defeated, we have to be asking the question, will this affect the faith that people have in the Republic? If they're going to allow a group of seemingly unorganized pirates hammer them time after time and claim a section of systems off for themselves, then how are they as a government worthy enough to be joined? Look for systems and people groups to start getting in bed with corporate interest groups and crime syndicates. All the while, the Republic will enforce tax policies on these corporate entities, which will, in turn, drive people bitter with the Republic. With the Nihil's victory over the Republic comes their victory over the Jedi Order as well. The Eye of the Nihil, Marchion Ro, has unleashed a terrifying monster upon the Jedi. We've seen them called the Shri Karai, the Nameless, but most notably the Great Leveler. It's a mysterious beast that Marchion Ro is able to use against anyone who is sensitive to the Force. The Leveler basically consumes the Force from an individual, making them feel immense fear and dread. The end result isn't just death for that person. They become a lifeless husk that crumbles to any touch. This mortifying weapon is prompting the Jedi to discontinue their reach into the Outer Rim. They're enacting something known as the Guardian Protocols, where Jedi once trained their Padawans in temples scattered across the galaxy. They will now be based from Coruscant. No more Jedi Marshals, possibly even no more Jedi Wayseekers. No more law and order in the Outer Rim, basically no more hope. Also, Padawans will be fast-tracked to the rank of Jedi Knight a lot quicker. With Jedi falling to the Leveler and with Jedi trapped in the Nihil occlusion zone, they are wanting to replenish their ranks and to advance combat training for all Jedi just in case the opportunity for strategic strikes against the Nihil present themselves. Sound familiar? The construction of their lightsabers will also change. Intricate ornamental crafted lightsabers took ages to construct. Those days are over with. With the Jedi unadmittingly at war, they will need to construct weapons at a faster rate with less ornamental appeal. Look for the Jedi to become increasingly uncomfortable with the Order's new direction. While the Jedi leadership will motion this initiative as a way of safeguarding the light, others in the Order will see this for what it truly is, an acquiescence to fear. And as I mentioned earlier, look for things very specific to this era, like Marshals and Wayseekers, to be a thing of the past. Lastly, and most importantly, keep a lookout for the Hand of the Sith in all of this chaos. Recently, I posted my theory about the High Republic's endgame. I've got my video posted here if you want to check it out. It's a fun ride, but the gist is that the heir to Darth Bane's Rule of Two will be revealed, and as an audience, we will learn how the events of Phase 1 and Phase 2 have culminated to massive leaps in the Sith's plan to infiltrate the highest office of the Republic, and furthering the destruction of the Jedi Order. The story will end with a handoff to a new successor, a Jedi who's been fighting from behind enemy lines in the occlusion zone, a Jedi who once emitted the brightest light and the greatest display of hope, the hero of Hetzel, Avar Kriss. As glorious and as hopeful as Starlight Beacon was, the Marshal who once commanded station there will fall just as destructively as the beacon itself. If you've read the first issue of Shadows of Starlight, recall our reintroduction to the fallen Jedi Azlin Rail. We can trace his story all the way back to Phase 2 and the Order's last confrontation with the Nameless on Dalna. He was driven so insane with fear that in the present story he has submitted fully to the dark side. No, I don't believe he's a Sith, but I believe he has a connection to the new Dark Lord. A connection that will eventually link up with Avar Kriss. Keep a lookout for Azlin Rail, but also for any Republic official orchestrating events secretly with the Nihil. Keep tab of all the little political footholds that the Republic loses, because you can be sure that the Sith will recover those footholds. And even if the Sith won't come from behind the shadows, the dark side itself will challenge each of our heroes. Who will truly overcome its temptations, and how will they be different on the other side of Phase 3? The Initiative's first installment, Eye of Darkness, is dropping soon, and I can't wait to continue this ride. The High Republic has truly been something special. Let me know what you think. What does Phase 3 have in store for these characters? I'd love to know your opinion. So until next time, take care, God bless you, and may the Force be with you, always.